Justice is served for customers who paid a contractor thousands of dollars and got nothing in return. Our investigations for almost 2 years helped build a theft by deception case.
It led to an arrest and a conviction, and First Alert 6 Mike McKnight speaks with one of the victims after today's sentencing.
Like the room she paid $17,000 to remodel, Cindy Coleman told a Bellevue detective in 2024 that she only got empty promises from the contractor.
It's just been excuses after excuses.
20 months later, Sarpy County District Judge Nathan Cox warned the same remodeler to keep his word this time.
First and foremost, I'm sure that the victims in this matter would like to be made whole.
54-year-old Ronald Raney is ordered to repay 3 Sarpy County customers a total of more than $24,000, with Cindy Coleman getting the largest restitution amount set by the judge.
I think it's great. I think that's the best outcome we could have had. So he has to pay back everybody.
The public defender claims Raney had a defensible reason for not starting the 3 jobs after being paid.
And had some medical problems that came up that didn't allow him to complete that work. Certainly he understands that that work was not completed, that there is restitution outstanding.
The judge ordered Raney to make payments each month until restitution is paid in full. The judge told the contractor to spend 5 years on probation constructively, doing jobs the right way and earning money to repay the 3 customers he didn't finish the jobs for, a total of $24,000. But the contractor couldn't use his hands just yet. The judge also sentenced Raney to jail, and counting time already served, he'll spend 72 days behind bars.
Teaching him a lesson, and also we're getting our money back, slow but sure, or getting justice for him having to go back to jail.
The judge said while serving a jail sentence, Raney can apply for work release to get a start on paying restitution of $411 a month for 5 years. That's money Cindy Coleman needs after paying someone else to do the job that Raney never started. In Sarpy County, Mike McKnight, First Alert 6.
In court, the defense attorney said contractor Ronald Raney pled no contest to a theft by deception charge in Douglas County. That 4th customer paid him more than $12,000 for remodeling work never done.